Hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for coming by. This is a late night stream. I haven't done a really late night stream in a while. Normally at night, I'll do my recordings and things like that. But I want to welcome you all back to the channel. If you're new here, please drop a comment below if you're watching the replay. Or you could always reach out by email at 411ccan@gmail.com. So yes, this is Momming It Up here. I go by CCN, your little host that is going to be deep diving into the stories that keep a lot of us up at night. The ones about our missing loved ones, and missing, well, not our missing loved ones necessarily, although lots of people that do stop by have had a lot of different true crime experiences and traumas and just, all kinds of things that have happened in their life. But we're going to go over all kinds of things and the unanswered questions and the fight for truth, right? And justice. So tonight, we're actually going to talk about Sebastian Rogers, the brave 15-year-old from Hendersonville, Tennessee, who has been missing since February 25th of 2024. 2024 already. My gosh, it's November 11th, 2025. It's Veterans Day. That's a really long time now. So what we do is we go live with these kind of discussions to keep the conversation going and the awareness high for Sebastian. Before we jump in, I just want to put out a quick disclaimer because this is some heavy stuff. So trigger warning is something that I don't often say because I feel like if we're doing a topic like this, it kind of should already be kind of known. But there is going to be a lot of things that are going to be heard from a recording. So I will give a trigger warning for that. Everyone discussed tonight, from Sebastian's family, any investigators, creators, anyone and everyone, is always innocent until proven guilty, no matter what we're talking about, right? In a court of law here in America. So what you'll hear from me is just the right to free speech that we have under the First Amendment in the United States. We have speculations, opinions, and analysis based solely on public news reports, online discussions, all kinds of publicly available information. This is for entertainment and awareness only. It's not to be used in any way to harass, defame, or bother anyone that we discuss. We're just here to have an open discussion and speculation on Sebastian Rogers tonight and his disappearance. But in general, this is a general disclaimer that I do say on the channel. Now, if you have any information at all about Sebastian or any missing person or active investigation, please call 911 immediately. Always contact your local law enforcement, or if it's regarding like Sebastian specifically, you can call TBI Find. That's the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. It's 1-800-TBI Find. That's specifically for Sebastian Rogers or anything in Tennessee. You can also reach the FBI or the Sumner County Sheriff's Office for Sebastian's case. Lives truly depend on your tips. It's really all up to us. And there is a lot of ways that you can give tips, even anonymously, if you're worried about safety or retaliatory things. I've heard a lot about that lately. A lot of people are afraid to talk out on all kinds of different topics and things. They're really concerned about retaliation, and it's just really sad. But we do have lots of ways now to report something, with anonymity. So I'm just going to ask that we can keep it respectful in my comments or in the live chat, and factual as much as we can. Of course, we're going to be speculating, and you can give your opinion, and be prayerful always, or send positive energy, whatever you believe in. I pray for Sebastian's safe return every single day. And I urge all of you that are prayer warriors to do the same, or to send positive energy. All right, so let's give a quick overview of Sebastian's disappearance as I welcome everybody in over here. I see some of you over from X. Thank you so much for coming on in. I appreciate you for stopping by. I'm not going to be talking too much to chat because it is really late and I want to be able to have this up for when everybody's commuting and things like that for tomorrow. So we're not going to do too much talking. I know there's a lot of people that don't know much about Sebastian Rogers, so we want to get updated and kind of filled in on this teenage boy that went missing. So let me just take a sip of water. One moment. All right, sorry about that. Tried to do these in between my mom and duties with the kiddos, and lately my daughter that has the autism, she's doing very well, but she's been getting up at night, and so the schedules are a little wonky. And I guess I haven't had a drink in a couple hours. Didn't realize. Have a little water. And alrighty then. So let's give a quick overview of Sebastian's disappearance. For everyone that's just tuning in, you need the basics to be able to follow along. Sebastian was a sweet kid. Yes, he did have autism and a rare genetic condition called 6q27 deletion syndrome. He lived full-time primarily at his mother, Katie Proudfoot, and stepfather, Christopher Proudfoot's home. It was in a quiet neighborhood on Stafford Court, and that was in Hendersonville, Tennessee. On February 25th, 2024, it appeared to be a normal evening with Sebastian and his mom. They went shopping. They went to a couple different places. We've heard different things. They went to a bowling alley. They did not bowl. They played video games for a little while, and then they were said to have just gone straight over to grab some dinner. Actually, first in the day, I guess I will say that they did go to BJ's. They met with other family members. They left to pick up a niece, and so that's pretty much their day. And it ended at the Texas Roadhouse for dinner, and it was just the mom and Sebastian in video footage that we've all seen. That was the only footage that was, showing Sebastian since his disappearance. That's the only footage that anybody has seen, according to the FBI's latest update in September of 2025. And Katie Proudfoot says, since she was the only one with Sebastian Rogers, as according to her, that when they arrived home from the Texas Roadhouse around 9 or 10, depending on what one statement you listen to, because it changes, that she had heard a loud bang from his room right before bedtime. Now, that wasn't discussed the first time, but it was said later that there was a loud bang from his room right before bedtime, and she called out to him, and Sebastian yelled back that he was okay. But the next morning, on February 26th, according to his mother, Katie, she went to wake him up for school, and his bed was empty. She said she went to wake him up from school, and he wasn't there. No sign of a struggle, according to, to her. And see, here's the eerie part, though. Sebastian allegedly didn't take anything with him. That's right. Not even shoes. His mom and stepdad claimed that every single pair in the house was accounted for. It seemed that his father, Seth Rogers, is the one that actually noticed that his shoes were missing, because when he arrived at the home, he was aware, allegedly, from the accounts that we have heard, that Sebastian was not missing any shoes because his feet had been growing. He had recently taken him to Boot Barn to get him new boots. His mom had recently gotten new sneakers for him. However, that is not something that was 100% stated by law enforcement. When they had been giving updates in the beginning, they said that they didn't know for a fact that he was without shoes, right? So they said that, and that he didn't have his phone, he didn't take any extra clothes, No money, no food, not his Nintendo Switch. The only thing that was missing was a small flashlight. And we learned in the FBI update in September that it was allegedly a yellow flashlight. An Amber Alert went out and searches kicked off pretty much immediately. Helicopters, canine units, divers in nearby water, even a massive ground search, and an effort covering over 44,000 acres with 2,000 volunteers occurred. They combed landfills, woods, homes in the neighborhood, and there was nothing. No sightings have been confirmed, just no trace of Sebastian. He is now 16, and his birthday is actually coming up in December, and he'll be 17. So he'll be 17 next month. And it's truly heartbreaking. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office, TBI, FBI, everybody was all hands on deck. However, there's been a lot of public outcry by Sebastian's father, family, friends, and lots of the public like us asking for the FBI to be able to take the lead on this investigation because it has become very complicated just in the online case discussions. And there's just been a massive outpouring of support asking Sumner County Sheriff to please allow the FBI to take the lead on this case. So we know they're assisting. We did get an update from them in September, but as of the last time that I checked, Sumner County was still the lead and Carter was still in charge of the investigation primarily. So right now it's classified as an endangered missing person case. Foul play has not been ruled out, but there hasn't been any evidence that's been told to the public that points one way or another yet. I know there was a lot of confusion with that because in the beginning, the stepfather had said that they had been cleared and that him, Katie, and Seth Rogers had all been cleared. But according to the latest update that we were given in September, none of the parents are cleared. So there's been a lot of speculations that there could be some guilty knowledge or everybody's kind of unsure, right? Because we have to wait and see what the updates are from law enforcement. So let's fast forward again over here and talk a little bit about how we're 18 months in at this point. And this detailed update that came out from the FBI kind of was renewing their plea for tips. They're offering a $50,000 reward for info leading to Sebastian. They recap the night with the video from nearby homes and how his mom's car dash cam allegedly showed no one coming or going from the house after dinner. They debunked some early rumors like those two flashlights in the backyard, and because there was multiple videos that had leaked besides the main video that came out by Nick Barris, which one of the Sheriff Craddock had stated it had no evidentiary value at the time. And they just kind of went over everything, just trying to clear up a little bit of the rumors and just saying that they really need more tips for anybody that could think of anything, even if you don't think it could be helpful, but you may have heard something or seen something, to please call it in. Let's see. So they say like the backyard security footage that was from a neighbor's camera. This is some of the speculations, is turning out to be from searchers that was from 2 days later, that it wasn't suspects lurking in the night. So I don't know about that yet, but that seems to be it. And they did say that the green hoodie seen near Sebastian at the restaurant was cleared and was just a casual customer with no connection. That they have received hundreds of tips and neighborhood homes were searched, and there's still zilch, guys. There's nothing, right, that we're aware of. The FBI's message was pretty clear, though, that they're not giving up, but they could really use our help from the public, right? So if you know anything, you have to call in anything credible. And, it was really kind of sad, but we have all on my channel and those that I have met online in the true crime genre been speculating for quite some time that there has to be, in our opinions, a investigation ongoing behind the scenes, so to speak, right? And they're not going to tell us anything that could jeopardize the case. There's been a lot of stuff that's been put out online by the parents, especially the stepdad most recently again was on there. And it just, it's concerning. You don't want obstruction. You don't want, if there is anything that was happened to him, you do not want it to not get justice for whatever it is, right? So tonight, the big focus is going to be on the rumor speculations and the just released audio from At Night Media. So I'm going to give all the credit over to At Night Creative Intelligence for putting this out. They're the ones who obtained and shared it, and we're going to review the clips under the fair use for commentary and awareness. So this isn't about sensationalism. It's about shining a light on what's public and why it matters. I know that there's a lot of controversy about At Night. They've been deep in the case. They've collaborated with, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and then they had an alleged award offer of $500,000. And there's been a lot of stuff surrounding it. But at the end of the day, I think that any information that could help, with Sebastian's case and keep the discussion going is important. So I don't have an opinion on it one way or another. And I just wanted to, thank them for releasing it. The audio just dropped hours ago, so it's really raw, guys. It's captured on day 50 of the search. A lot of us had heard a lot of the things that had allegedly been said and documented and recorded, but we haven't heard them for ourselves, right? But we've heard about it. And so now we have a little more information than we had before to listen to, and it's a call where Katie and Chris Proudfoot are absolutely unloading on this private investigator that was hired by the Rogers family, Sebastian's dad and the biological father of Sebastian. So there's fury, accusations, the works, right? So we're going to play it and we'll break it down. Remember, fair use means we're, transforming it with our analysis a little bit, and we're going to just chit chat about it. And I'll give you a link in the chat and in the description. It should be in the description already if you want to go and hear it in full for yourself without it being, without me talking in the middle of it. So anyway, let's get over to listen to a little bit of this, and then we're going to get into some of the rumors, because I know there's been a lot of people emailing and commenting and asking me my opinion on some of the newest things that have transpired on YouTube when it comes to Sebastian. Let me just, one moment. Okay, let me just switch on over here. How do I do this? Hi, Mark. How are you? Thanks so much for stopping by.
Can I tell her who's?
Yeah, my name's Heather. I came by yesterday. Hi, Katie.
What can I do for you? Are you the woman that trespassed my property
I
yesterday?
actually didn't. I walked down your neighbor's property and then down the easement and then up the other
That's not
side.
an easement. I own that. That's my property.
Well, the fence says no trespassing. I didn't come on the property.
That is my property.
The easement, that's a public
I
easement.
own it. It's not. I own it.
I am here to try to clear you.
I don't
So,
need you to clear me.
I don't know why you're being defensive with me.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
First, do you identify yourself?
I did already. My name's Heather, private investigator.
Well, you're coming to my house.
I am. I'm investigating the disappearance of your stepson. So do you want him found or no? Because if you do, then why would you have a problem with me coming to talk to you guys?
Well,
Real simple, because we're asking you questions and you're telling us that you can't answer those questions. So why should we answer any?
I absolutely did not trespass.
there's no such thing.
There's
as a public
nothing,
easement.
there is a such thing as a public easement.
Not in this
It's not posted.
I own it. I have signs on.
Okay, your fence has a sign. I didn't
Just
talk
3
about.
foot inside of the
Okay,
property.
take it up with, if you want to report it to law enforcement, do it. Take it up with them. I am trying to help. Okay, so if you want somebody to help you, that's what I'm doing. So calm down, talk to me like civil human beings. I'm trying to help find him. I've been talking to sex offenders in the area. I've
Law
been,
enforcement has done that.
okay, and I'm gonna do it too, because I'm working it too. And I have that right, and the person that hired me has that right. Anybody has that right.
He's also blatantly accusing me of murder when I didn't.
I haven't accused you of
I didn't
shit.
say you did. I said he did.
Okay, well, I'm trying to decide who is on my radar and who is not. I've talked to sex offenders. That is my focus right now. In my mind, you're not a person of interest, that I'm coming here trying to talk to you.
It's not a good look to trespass either. Like, that's my point.
Looks like, ma'am.
It's
I'm not-
posted
so, let
all
me tell you
4
something.
ways.
I just came from the TBI headquarters in Jackson, Mississippi.
Honey, I'm going to tell you, as a PI, I have a lot more leeway with things I can do and people I can talk to. And this isn't my first rodeo. I've worked cases like this before. I have gotten information that TBI or law enforcement's not able to get, and I have passed it along, and it has helped the case. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
What have you passed along that's helped this case?
I just started working this case. I haven't even got a chance to talk to you or Katie yet.
Well, here's the thing. You're not talking to her by herself. Period.
Okay.
You're not going to talk to my
Okay,
wife.
fine. All right, set up an appointment with me. Do you want to do that? I can come back. I mean, I can respect your time. I'm not trying to do this. Whatever. I mean, I really think everybody just needs to calm down. Emotions are high. People are flinging mud, and it's just getting drama and stupid. And that is a terrible disadvantage to Sebastian.
Right, but let me inform you on something. You're not the one being threatened here.
I think everybody's being threatened. Did you know there was a drive-by shooting last?
People being threatened. Bullshit.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't understand why you guys are coming at me. I didn't do anything to you.
Okay, well, first off, you came to my house the other day.
Yes.
Walked my
Yesterday.
property.
You walked around my fucking property with a camera and you videotaped and took pictures.
Privately run property back
And
there.
it fucking posted all sides of that property.
I mean, the easement between houses is not usually.
No, he
I own it.
in that fucking subdivision.
I own half, my neighbors own half, period. It's not public. There are no.
I mean, there's no property lines. There's no way to tell
There
what
is.
is.
It's marked. I have stakes.
I mean, can you show me? Because I
I can
didn't.
show you all 4 no trespassing signs.
They're on
And
the
if you want,
fence.
you can go on the city and you can look at the property line and you can.
I mean, they're on
I
the
said,
fence. I wouldn't jump
own
your
it.
fence.
I own it. Half of that is mine, half of that is theirs. That's why they turned it in and they turned it into the police.
I'm sorry, what? I think that when there's a no trespassing sign on the fence, that means you don't go into the fence. I'm not going to go into the fence.
Negative. Actually, that's wrong.
Okay, well, I'm not sure how I would know that.
Let me-
All right, well, I'm not really, yeah, I'm just not really sure how anybody would know that easement is yours.
Stepped out of your car the other day and you walked onto the property. When my neighbor saw you,
Oh,
and my
walked right
neighbor
past
across
your
the
neighbor.
street saw you, turn around. Where they saw you, I got you on camera,
Mm-hmm,
walking your ass through my property, right next to my fucking driveway.
mm-hmm.
You walked past 3 fucking signs, woman. 3. Don't tell me you didn't see them. They're on the fucking fence. You just set it on this camera, and I got news for you. Because you've done that, you have violated trespassing.
I was actually trying.
You know, I mean, at first when I listen to it, it's hard to understand, you know, why somebody would act like this if their child's missing. But then I try to look at the other side of it too, that, you know, if they had really had a lot of people coming and being, you know, if they truly didn't know what happened, and as you listen, the mom said she wanted the PI to search the dark web, and she was worried, you know, about, you know, the whole traffic situations, then I can understand, you know, being concerned and upset if somebody's, you know, there. But if you look at Heather, you can, I mean, I don't think you would think she's a threat during the day. And, so even though I tried to understand what would cause somebody to be this upset, I really just couldn't. Often I wish that we had heard this kind of passion in regards to trying to find Sebastian, right? And wanting him home and wanting to know where he is, but we haven't heard that kind of energy regarding Sebastian, right? We hear it regarding a lot of other things. So I don't know. I really try. I try so hard to look at all sides because I've always thought, there could be a third party. They said they made it like he had no access, to electronics and to games and everything at first. But then we learned, from his dad and later on from the stepfather, way later on from the stepfather, that he did. He had a phone. He lost his privileges to it several times. And the stepdad said that his mom and his dad were the ones that wanted him to have it back. And that the stepdad was, I guess, more strict about it. So you can think, yeah, he could have met somebody online. He could have easily taken off with somebody. And, with the mess that this has all become, some of us are like, maybe he did, right? Maybe he did. Maybe it's like, I'm out of here. But then when you hear all this, it makes you think that no, probably not. But anyway, let's continue. It's just, I try to think of other, other reasons, but logically I agree. I can't imagine who would act like this, Mark. I don't understand it. Hi, Shannon. How are you? Thanks for watching.
You're on the fucking fence. You just said it on this camera, and I got news for you. Because you've done that, you have violated trespassing.
I was actually trying to stay on the outside of your property. Okay, well, I don't know how I would know that that's not.
Add the detectives into this so that they can see her and find out what she.
I just left the sheriff's department. I talked to Tim Bailey. I talked to Sheriff Weatherford. I've been talking to all of them. So anyway.
Okay, well, first off.
But why is this the focus instead of finding Sebastian? It's a waste of time right now. We're arguing over a property line, like when there's a missing child.
We're arguing over a fucking state.
I'm not showing up here to do anything to you except for find your son.
No.
I'm not a threat to you.
All you had to do was pick up the fucking phone and call us.
That's not how I operate. I talk to people in person. That's what I do.
You're shit at your job.
No, that's not shit at your job. PIs don't call people. They show up at their houses.
Well, I got news for you.
Okay. Are you going to set up an appointment with me, or do you just want to keep yelling at me? This is really ridiculous. Like, this is the drama that's a disadvantage to Sebastian. He's not going to be found this.
Oh, so sorry, guys. I hit the button by accident. It is really long. Like, this is like a 5-minute argument about her going on, I guess, private property, according to them, right? So, yeah, my gosh. Yeah, 5 minutes, 10 seconds. Yeah.
This way.
Answer my question. What the hell are you going to do to help find our son?
I am knocking on doors, talking to sex offenders.
FBI, Secret Service, TBI.
I am communicating with the I just talked to Tim Bailey, asked him if they talked to the sex offender. They have not talked to this sex offender. He said, I'm free to go do so, which is what I'm doing. Okay.
Okay, well, first off, when you come on somebody's property, you're supposed to announce yourself because we haven't posted no trespassing. It doesn't matter what your fucking job title is. Once it gets, I try to explain to you. There's no property lines in that entire subdivision. No. There's no community. Right? No, nothing. Nothing. So where you were walking yesterday on camera, you're on my property.
But I really wish that you would lighten up a little bit because we are focusing on the wrong thing when we should be focusing on finding Sebastian.
If you want me to lighten up?
I do.
You want me to lighten up?
Yes, sir.
It's real simple.
I will not walk on your property again. I apologize for walking down the easement, what looked like an easement.
You told my neighbor you were hired by the family, and I am the family. So if I didn't hire
that
you,
tells me right there that you're hired by the Rogers family.
But I am not hired to implicate or accuse you. And
I'm not asking you
Okay,
to implicate.
I am trying to find him. So I want to talk to you too.
You'll come find me.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm here trying to find you.
I'm not hard to find.
Okay, when do you want it? Let's set this up.
Gosh, did he just say, just come find me? I'm sorry. This is not a funny thing, right? But it's just sometimes it's just, shocking. Obviously, Sebastian, being gone and everything is not funny. But the fact that he's saying, come and find, you got to find me, when he's screaming for over 6 minutes now about trespassing. And there's always some sort of a little uneasement, especially in the front of the home, right? There's always a certain, where I used to live in New York, it was like 8 feet in my county. And then another place in New York that we lived, it was like 12 feet from the road. And then, of course, any public, poles, like for if you have cable or the electric. So I can't imagine that there's not some sort of a property. Well, she did say that's my neighbor's and my property, right? So I guess she at one point was saying there is a property line, and then this is just wild to listen to.
Do you want to meet? Whenever. We're at Memphis. I'll be in Jackson tomorrow, so I can meet you. I can I can come all the way to Memphis if that's what you require, or you can meet me somewhere in between.
Well, I would prefer you come see me because I work nights. So 9 to 1, when you guys are up, I'm actually sleeping.
Okay, so, but it's not going to be you and Katie. It's just going to be you.
It would be just me because unless Katie's coming down to see me, well, she can't. We have other things that have to happen at the house. It wouldn't be together. The only time we're going to be together might be Sunday, Monday. That's when we might actually be back together again.
Okay, well,
I'm working.
I mean, I'd rather do it both at the same time. I mean, you already said you don't want me talking to your wife without you present. So
Right.
that would
And
mean,
you can ask the cops that. They don't show up and talk to her without somebody telling us both. That's
Okay.
just the way this works. That's safety in numbers. I don't trust. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't know.
well, and I mean, we wouldn't know each other. I mean, we have no reason to know each other prior to this. But
See, that's the thing that caught me off guard. It's like, okay, there's safety in numbers. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Your child's missing. What do you mean safety in numbers? You're veterans. You've served this country, and you're in Tennessee. So I'm sure that you're armed like we all are at all times. You're carrying, right, at all times. Do you really think that she was going to harm you, or what is the safety that you need in numbers, right? Like, Katie cannot, Sebastian's mom from day one cannot speak alone. It's very interesting. And that's what leads to the speculations often that when I've had conversations sometimes and I hear what people think about everything, and it's basically that if there's arrests, they could see a tactic being used of just arrest people at one time, right? And then I think they have 90 days to have the charges in Tennessee, or I think it's 90 days taken hold. And just because it would shake things up, people think, with some of it, right? Because it's so interesting that she doesn't seem to really talk alone. It's very weird, in my opinion.
It's not hard to make a phone call and talk to somebody first. Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, and also, another thing is that I personally was speculating that I don't know if they really truly never knew of each other, because all of this stuff that's happened in this case that's transpired is really odd. But I mean, maybe they didn't. It just seems interesting that you would have to want to say that, and put it out there like that. The recording, was it paused, or was it edited after it was recorded, or just this audio is interesting. Some of it is a little interesting.
In numbers, I don't trust. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't know.
Well, and I mean, we wouldn't know each other. I mean, we have no reason to know each other prior to this. But
But it's not hard to make a phone call and talk to somebody first. Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
That's fine.
However, my history with cases like this is that, you know, especially with you guys are already defensive.
Right, I understand that. Not everybody in this world is like that. Not everybody is like that. I'm not. I'll be honest, I'm level-headed, I'm very brash, I'm blunt to the point. I've already told the cops this. I don't give a flying fuck what happens to him or what happens to that fucking family.
Yeah.
They did what they did.
Yeah.
Wait, what did he say? See, because that's where it sounds like it was paused. He doesn't care what happens to who?
Not everybody in this world is like that. Not everybody is like that. I'm not. I'll be honest, I'm level-headed, I'm very brash, I'm blunt to the point. I've already told the cops this. I don't give a flying fuck what happens to him or what happens to that fucking family.
Yeah.
They did what they did.
Yeah. I would like, what would be really great in a perfect world would be if I could calm that down a little bit, because right now, but it's not this isn't helping Sebastian. You know,
What channel is he talking about?
This trauma. It didn't help Sebastian when he accused his mother of murder. It didn't help Sebastian when he made almost $50,000 on my son going missing.
Who did?
Seth.
Yeah.
Don't know. I didn't know about that. I don't know anything
yeah.
about that.
Every single day he goes on. Internet
Let me
sleuth.
lay this out for you, okay? Take to the investigation.
I tried to work with him.
We were all in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Katie, Seth, and 2 other witnesses and law enforcement were in the house.
Yeah.
I brought up what else can we do to help with this situation.
Right. Okay.
And when I said, hey, do we need to raise money? Do we need to get some investigators? What do we need? Horses, whatever. We'll do whatever.
Yeah.
They said don't do anything with money because it makes the family look bad. And it could.
So again with the witnesses. So right after Sebastian goes missing, they have 2 witnesses when they're talking to police. Why would you have 2 witnesses there when you're talking to police? This is why everybody thinks, you know, what they think. A lot of us can't help but think. And I don't know. It's just it's their words, not mine.
Turn up. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All of us standing in that living room in my house made an agreement
Mm-hmm.
that said we were not going to do that.
Okay. Well, so
Hold on.
Wait, I thought they said it was the kitchen and now it's the living room? Right? He said they were talking in the kitchen. Witnesses to what they're talking about with the police, as if they wouldn't, or like they could have it recorded. They could have, like, every one of them had iPhones and Apple Watches. Like, if they were worried, you would have it recorded. But who the heck is worried and needs witnesses when your child's missing, unless you're guilty of knowing where the child is, who they're with, or what happened to that child? Like, this is just common sense. And it's just outrageous that they get so angry and so, intimidating because people are just talking about common sense, right? It's just, my gosh.
That said, we were not going to do that.
okay.
Okay.
Well, so
Hold on. Wait, stop. Turn your phone around. Not you. Hers. I want to see the face of her phone.
Oh, that she's
you want to see the face of my phone?
Yes.
Let me unlock it.
This conversation.
She's a PI. She would probably have a recorder somewhere else, like in her bosom, the bra,
Don't take it the wrong way, but I
under her
told you, I
buckle
don't trust
strap,
people
her
right
pant
now.
pocket.
People try to use shit and however they can. But that conversation in that living room was an agreed upon deal not to do anything with a GoFundMe page and collect money and benefit off of this.
Mm-hmm.
And sure as shit, what happened? The very next fucking day, there's a GoFundMe fucking page that's posted. So I'm sorry.
And that's another thing, the benefiting off of this, off of what you're trying to find your son. It makes it sound like you already know what happened or you had a plan. You know, this is what adds to all the speculation.
Understand how he knew that Sebastian wouldn't be found and would need money when my son hadn't been missing 72 hours, and yet he knew he was going to need money to pay his bills that far in advance. That speaks volumes to me.
He was only like a correction officer, right? Almost like a security guard in a sense. He didn't make a lot of money. My family would probably do the same thing, because if you know that somebody doesn't have a lot of savings and there's not enough money, right? Unless they had enough to be able to, lend, I mean, I know a lot of people thought it was odd, and some still do in a lot of ways, to have it so soon, and then the reward funds and stuff. But for them, it seems like they're really concerned about money, when it seems like Chris was the one that asked about it first and only declined because Ellie said it wouldn't make them look good.
The fact that he can't be bothered to help look for his son in the beginning. The fact that he literally released my son's sensitive trauma issues and blatantly lied about all of the details surrounding it.
Wait a minute. In the beginning, nobody was allowed. Remember? They secured the radiuses and they told the public that they would let them know when they could come out and help. They ordered everybody not to search. But she's saying 50 days in that in the beginning, he wasn't looking. That's interesting.
Including the age of the person who did it to him. The fact that he has turned my son missing into some dramatized bullshit for the internet.
Yeah, just so he can profit. And it's sad. It is truly sickening. Honestly. It's sickening if he profit off of this.
I don't need to be on television hanging cars. I don't need to brag that I have done what I have done to help find my son.
Well, I understand how
You don't need to be on television. You just need to brag. Your son's still missing. It's only 50 days. I would be sleeping in front of every news station or law enforcement. I don't know. I can't rationalize this. I mean, they were in the military. Can you imagine? I think I'd have like my phone live streaming constantly, like that one dad did that found his daughter in December. Frank, I can't remember what his daughter's name was. He just kept going live and begging people for information. And she
feel about everything.
Just gets better and better.
You don't push the information to Detective Carter.
I haven't talked to Carter yet. Carter has not gotten back with me. So I had to.
Down here with me.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. But
The reason why they didn't answer.
yeah.
I know that.
But so yeah. But I.
Oh, did you hear that little sneaky thing? There's a reason they didn't answer. So are they implying that already? Like we were under the assumption, it sounded like they were trying to make it like his dad had something to do with his disappearance. That's what I would think that little injected comment, would allude to, in my opinion, potentially, maybe. What do you guys think?
Me.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. But
The reason why they didn't answer.
yeah.
I know that.
But so yeah. But I.
Don't take this the wrong way, but why is a PI going on doing internet sleuth interviews?
He contacted me before I was even hired to work the case.
It was just
But yeah,
no
but
offense, I'm just asking.
but no, I mean, I'm not a sleuth. I'm actually a PI.
I didn't call you a
Yeah.
on
the
sleuth
podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, they asked me for my thoughts on the Sebastian Rogers case, and
So
who is it?
aware of all of that, and Seth is not doing anything that he hasn't already done to me in the past.
Like, I'm not.
So here we go again with another statement on record, it seems, right? Of where they don't want Sebastian discussed. and raising awareness on Sebastian in the public eye, in my opinion. It's kind of, interesting that you would ever think to mention, why would you go on YouTube channels or why would you go to the internet instead of what can I do? Do you have any suggestions? Have you heard anything? I don't know if there's a lot edited and they already begged about, do you have any information? Are you onto anything? Do you have any idea? Oh my gosh.
I'm not interested in the drama. I'm not interested in the rumors. I'm going to base who I think needs to be on the radar based on my interviews, my investigation, not what anybody else says.
So I have a question. You conduct your portion, do your thing,
Mm-hmm.
and we all know the Rogers family has hired you.
Okay.
It is very evident
Okay.
because we didn't hire.
They
Okay.
announced it publicly. It's not a secret. I know, but we're
See, that's what makes me concerned, like that maybe somebody else did also chip in there. Just seems really interesting to put these things on record. I don't know.
There is another PI too, by the way.
I know. There's
Okay.
Like, who would care? Like, what does it matter who specifically hired you? Even if somebody volunteers their services to search for a missing child, it just seems weird to me that somebody would say, we know that, I don't know, maybe I'm in need of a little more sleep. I don't know.
4 of them.
Oh yeah, I will tell you this. You can tell all the PIs because I know you all talk.
Yeah, we do.
Because we're sick and tired of being stalked and people
Yeah.
coming on our properties. Because that's not just my property. It's
Yeah.
theirs. We've
Okay.
worked
You know,
with
we're cool about that. Like,
probably 24 different, I'm the best one, I'm going to crack the case people already. And every last one of them that have talked to us, we have said, you are welcome to come and start from square one. You're not going to find anything that,
Well, I
250 professionals didn't, but you're welcome to try because at this point,
I haven't been here since day one when all this went down.
yeah.
And people don't understand. People can say, well, I understand how you feel when nobody knows how we feel.
Yeah.
Because unless you've lost a job and you've gone through this crap,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know.
Nobody's lost a child. Okay. They always say it as if it's a final thing,
I don't tell people, you don't know shit.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I will tell
I mean,
you.
that's just shot. Like, sorry, I shouldn't. I'll rewind that. I don't mean to inject my opinion over this, but it just, the wording. It's always the key wording. It really is.
at this point,
I haven't been here since day one when all this went down.
Yeah.
And people don't understand. People can say, well, I understand how you feel when nobody knows how we feel.
Yeah.
Because unless you've lost a job and you've gone through this crap,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know. Like, I don't tell people, you don't know shit.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I will tell you. I will tell you that I have only been hired on this case for 2 days.
I will forewarn you. So anything that you get, do you share back to the family?
so I'll share what? Share back to the family. Is that what you said?
Yeah, if you anything that you find or you get, share.
It's going to depend if it comes from law enforcement, which is what I told Weatherford. If it's something they share with me that they tell me, because I understand that there are some things that don't need to be in the public, and if it's
My
it-
question.
it,
Answer our question. Are you going to give them information back? Yes or no? I mean, it's real simple.
depending on what it is. If it's something I can share with them,
So basically, Chris is saying that what is, like, don't tell the police what you learn. Am I hearing that right? Anybody else getting that impression? Anybody else, or is it just me? Like, what is he talking about right now?
because I understand that there are some things that don't need to be in the public, and if it's
My
it-
question.
it,
Answer our question. Are you going to give them information back? Yes or no? I mean, it's real simple.
depending on what it is. If it's something I can share with them, yes, I will share it with them.
I will say this: I wish you the best of luck. I hope you find some. I hope you get some. Truly. I truly do. I hope you can find, I don't give a shit what it is, piece of evidence or something that
Yeah.
will move something in one direction.
Right.
What do you mean something in one direction?
I
How
will
about
tell you
something
this.
that finds Sebastian and brings him home? How about bringing him home? If you don't know where he is,
Evidence or something that
Yeah.
will move something in one direction.
Right.
so he wants people. So basically, he's saying he wants her to find stuff that would move it in one direction. And it's like, okay, one direction instead of finding Sebastian and bringing him home. Why? Because the direction is, I mean, how else are you supposed to think about this? It makes it appear that the only way you would talk this way is if you know what happened and you want somebody else to take all the blame. That's why I've always speculated if there's a third party, they're trying to pin it all on. Who the heck knows anymore? This is just wild to listen to. Wow.
I will tell you this. There is no
Allegedly, in my
chance
opinion.
Seth Rogers or the Roger family is going to reach out and contact us, and there's going to be reciprocating phone calls because it ain't happening right.
There doesn't need to be.
The only
There
way-
doesn't need to be phone calls between you guys.
The only way that's going to happen, he ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
It's real simple. So, and I mean, unfortunately, he's made his bed.
He's saying that the only way that's going to happen and he ain't going to do it. Well, I think it's because he kept looking and wanting answers, right? Look, I'm not saying that maybe Seth doesn't have some sort of knowledge or something that, maybe, he held back and that's why they're not clear. I don't know, right? None of us really know. But based on all we see and all we hear, I mean, does this woman doesn't seem like she's grieving. She doesn't seem like she's looking for her son. She hasn't talked about him. The stepdad's not talking about him. Nobody's looking for him. Like, I can't even fathom this entire case. You would almost think that Sebastian didn't even exist and this is like a Hollywood movie, and it's not. Just look at his father and the bags under that man's eyes, This was from 50 Days In with the PI, Heather Cohen, and it was just put up on At Night. I remember Seth Rogers said that he has a whole bunch of these, right? Because it was his PI, and so anybody that did the investigating for him had to turn over their findings, to him, right? Because that's who retains you, I guess, so to speak. And yeah, so that's what this is. It came out tonight, and it just is interesting to go over and to listen to because a lot of times people, get really upset when everybody's speculating and stuff. But how do you not expect, friends, family, and loved ones to not speculate when a child disappears? And this seems to be the way that everybody was acting, in the beginning. I mean, it's just shocking. And that's why I believe there's no doubt that we'll see arrests. And I've never believed that there won't be something because I just don't think it's possible. And I believe that's why the FBI has a $50,000 reward. And, sometimes they'll arrest people, right? And they say, you have to produce the child. We've had that happen. Sometimes that happens.
He's going to lie. I mean, it is what it is.
I tried 4 different times to get him to interview with me.
It seems like y'all were somewhat cordial in the beginning.
We were.
He has been very cordial. I got proof of shit that where he's running his mouth that he didn't talk to me and all this. I got phone records where I had hour-long
When
conversations.
he said that Hayat spoke to him, that we refused to speak to him for 2 weeks, he was on the phone with them for long periods of time. Damn near every day at that point. Welcome to
They were welcomed in the house. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had it on mute the whole time. I'm so
And what was your
sorry.
name again?
This is what they told us about you two.
Well,
I had just given you my opinion. I'm so sorry about that. I was just saying that even if that was the case, where he didn't go do the interviews with them, if that was even the case, I mean, if day one, what he said happened, that, does appear it did, the way they were behaving, blackmailing, insinuations, trying to, control narratives, tell him what to say. If he thought that they had something to do with harming his child or the unimaginable, would you want to do interviews and have these people doing that? I mean, I'm just saying, I highly doubt that he would deny, going on certain interviews. I just feel that I just don't think so, because he was doing so many, but maybe one or two. We don't know in the beginning. I'm not sure. I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your name again?
This is what they told us about you two.
Well, everybody and I'm being honest, everybody on fucking Facebook, all this YouTube, all this TikTok, all this bullshit, they could take those fucking shows and stick them so far up their asses, and I hope they choke off.
Wait, I'm just gonna ask you guys. So since this was published, this is from at night. I don't know like what's edited. I don't know what is. This happened during one conversation and then this transferred to another conversation. So I just want to put it out there because I'm not positive. Hi, Rosebud. How are you? And Locked and Loaded, thanks for stopping by. Oh, and Mark, thank you for hanging out with us. It's nice to have you with us. I enjoyed listening to what you guys have to say about this as well.
Facebook, all this YouTube, all this TikTok, all this bullshit, they could take those fucking shows and stick them so far up their asses, and I hope they choke off.
Yeah.
Quite honest, there ain't a fucking one of them out there that has sit here and run us through the fucking dirt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire.
Well, we're so unhinged that they found something.
Can you imagine being Sebastian? He's mad at all of us that have an opinion and are wanting to help find a missing child. Just do our little part. Most people that give all their time, I mean, I have spent a ridiculous amount of money as well. Like I just monetized. I had my first, I could have monetized a long time ago, but I think it was $160 is all I've ever made from YouTube. And, it's $100 a month between Streamlabs, StreamYards, and then I've done tons of flyers. Somebody actually sent $40 to put towards flyers. Never that, and I've done the least out of so many other people. So I just can't even imagine being this way and not just being grateful, even if it's not nice conversations that don't make you feel good. Who cares how you feel? And these people were in our military. I mean, I'm a proud Army mom. My son just got his wings for air assault. That they say it's like the 10 toughest days in the Army. And I this is just so disheartening for so many reasons, that there's a young man that has lived with people that feel like this. I can't even imagine it. I'm sorry, I get a little emotional over it, and I'm not an emotional person. Oh.
One lady that has the same name as me that murdered her child, I guess, in the early 2000s, and they're trying just to say that that's me.
That's the problem with sleuths that don't have access to like actual databases, is that a lot of these like Truth Finder and all those like, the public.
I did have it a little slowed down because it was going super fast in the beginning. Let me put it to like 90. Oh no, hold on. And I'll give you the direct link too.
That had and spoke to him, that we refused to speak to him for 2 weeks. He was on the phone with them for long periods of time, damn near every day at that point. Welcome to
They were welcome in the house. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your name again?
This is what they told us about you too.
Well, everybody that, and I'm
So
being
this
honest,
has to be another call, another recording, right? I'm guessing. I think he could be locked and loaded, right? We've heard a couple of them where it sure seemed to be that way.
everybody on fucking Facebook, all this YouTube, all this TikTok, all this bullshit. They could take those fucking shows and stick them so far up their asses, and I hope they choke off.
Yeah.
There ain't a fucking one of them out there that has sit here and run us through the fucking dirt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire.
Well, we're so unhinged that they found some lady that has the same name as me that murdered her child, I guess, in the early 2000s, and they're trying to say that that's me.
That's the problem with sleuths that don't have access to like actual databases, is that a lot of these like Truth Finder and all those like, the public access ones, there's mixed information.
Let me ask you this. You're going after sex offenders,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Right. That's my,
You have the access to scan the dark web for trafficking?
yeah. I can get that done. Not me personally, but I know somebody. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Please. I mean, you're not more for me, but
Yeah, no, but that's, I mean, is that your,
See, now the way she brings that up, like that makes my stomach turn in so many ways because of what I know from what I've studied and I learned when I had an internship at St. Christopher's in New York, and they were girls that were victims of, the unthinkable, the traffic situation that we can't say the full word on YouTube, unfortunately. Sometimes you can, but sometimes you can't. And it really concerns me knowing what went on with her family, right? And her, I believe the grandmother being registered, SA or SO. And I get that people think that it was just put out as like a distraction. But when you think of, a lot of how scripted and how, how the whole day went, it almost seems like did something like that go on and then maybe something happened and it didn't go through. It didn't, because there's all kinds of things that people do. They send their children to wilderness camps. They send them through these different scary experiences of people screaming and chasing them in the woods. I mean, there's a lot of really awful stuff out there, right? So it's just really, I don't know why she would say it the way that she's saying it, because if you believed that somebody took him, I just can't imagine that there wouldn't have been a lot more advocacy and a lot less trying to find evidence that points in one direction, narratives, this, that, and the third. So
have access to like actual databases, is that a lot of these like Truth Finder and all those like, the public access ones, there's mixed information.
let me ask you this. You're going after sex offenders,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Right. That's my,
You have the access to scan the dark web for trafficking?
yeah. I can get that done. Not me personally, but I know somebody. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Please. I mean, you're not more for me, but
Yeah, no, but that's, I mean, is that how you feel? That's what you think is going on?
everybody keeps talking about trafficking and trafficking and trafficking.
Yeah.
And they just found 11 missing kids, and
Right.
everybody's going after this whole sex offender bullshit. So if there's anything to it and someone took him and it's
Mhm.
trafficking,
Mm-hmm.
where would they go?
Right.
Because if he were within 5 miles of this house, there's no chance that he wouldn't have been found. None. Because I know every single group, agency, technology,
Yeah.
everything that was brought in, there's no chance he was within 5 miles of this house.
Okay.
It was done over and over and over, and they used heat sinking, they used
Yeah.
FLIR, they used
Yeah.
vision, they used night. I mean, they did. They did. If you can name it, they did it, and they did it.
Oh, wait, what was that thing that Laura Lodge had suggested bringing in when he had the PI on? He said he was going to call one of the institutes to see if they could do something where they could look under the ground, right? was it ground penetrating radar or sonar or something like that? I wonder if that ever occurred or what happened with that. Maybe we could tweet to Aiden on X and ask.
Multiple ways. I don't think he's that close to home. Unless he's in a basement. I was begging them to search farther.
Okay.
This area has been canvassed.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a mom too, baby. I get it. I do. I have a 15-year-old son as well. And you're doing a good job of keeping yourself together, which some people interpret badly.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Every one of them spineless cowards ain't got the fucking balls to come over, call, ain't got nothing. All they got is the keyboard to put out there.
Oh, yeah.
Bullshit stories.
I wasn't trying to be hateful. It's just, there's so many people.
So do you plan on releasing any of the footage and pictures that you took of the house?
No. That's for me. That's for my file.
There's not an inch of my house inside or out that hasn't been publicly posted to say you can find it. It's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, the pictures, regardless, you can find the pictures of every angle.
Yeah.
On silk.
I'm sure.
Well, I will say as much. Before you make that trip to Memphis, I need to make sure, one, I'll be able to have the time to actually sit down and talk, because we have concrete floors to chip below, and those hours are longer than normal. So I don't want to sit there and waste your time and your energy or gas and stuff coming down here if I can't actually be to sit down.
Hey, let me get your guys' phone numbers. And
Wait a second. What did he just say? Is that where the concrete stuff came from? Because I remember the post on Facebook. Did he just say we have concrete something being poured or something? Oh no, it did it again where it skipped the thing.
I disagree with it.
And those hours are longer than normal.
Wait a
Every
minute.
angle.
Yeah.
So do you plan on releasing any of the footage and pictures that you took of the house?
No. That's for me. That's for my file.
There's not an inch of my house inside or out that hasn't been publicly posted to say you can find it. It's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, the pictures, regardless, you can find the pictures of every angle.
Yeah.
On silk.
I'm sure.
Well, I will say as much. Before you make that trip to Memphis, I need to make sure, one, I'll be able to have the time to actually sit down and talk, because we have concrete floors to chip below, and those hours are longer than normal. So I don't want to sit there.
Okay, now I get where the whole concrete thing came from. So he was saying that concrete had to be poured, which, in my opinion, if you're putting, I don't think that Sebastian would ever be placed there. I know a lot of people were saying that they did, but I think that, you're not gonna, I don't know. I will speculate that I do think that there may be alterations to the house that don't meet up with the Zillow listing. Maybe that's it, because there was somebody that did an interview and they said small crevices in a home and stuff like that. So if you listen to the keywording, those are the things that I would be looking for. I would be looking for things that have, been stated by the mother, the father, the stepfather, the private investigators. Yes, it was Steve Fisher, I think, said it was the Laura Lodge. I'm going to have to pull it up. He said all these different things. And it was something like small crevices and small spaces. And so everybody was saying the key, basically when you study analysis and psychological behavioral patterns and things like that, that's what I would be thinking, is that it is within 5 miles of the home. If there's some evidence, it would be within the 5 miles of the home, speculating in my opinion, and it would possibly be in maybe in the home. Maybe there was something additional that was built in or around the home. That's one angle to look at. Or you could say maybe people just, who knows, right? Maybe he ran away. Like they said, he could have. That's possible. We've heard all this speculation about smoke being set off or Wi-Fi destructors. And then we also had posts in the neighborhood group. We had posts about somebody in a gray t-shirt at 6:30 p.m. in the Ring app, and they posted that they had a gray shirt. They were hiding behind a tree. There's a lot of stuff, right? They had the guy that had like a bag on his head the night before, and then in the morning. I mean, there was a lot of different things. So there are a lot of different things.
Your gas and stuff coming down here if I can't actually beat to sit down.
Hey, let me get your guys' phone numbers, and can I just call you when I'm in Jackson tomorrow?
Send me a text.
Okay, what's your number?
83.
Okay, and Katie, what's your number?
Just send me a text right now with your name so I know. If not, I'll be like,
Yeah, okay, I will.
not answer. Yeah.
Ironically, they don't guard much. I just gave them a bone. I give them each a bone, and then one of them puts it down and barks at the other for the bone that the other one has.
All right, you both have my phone number now.
So that was the first one, and I'm going to drop the links. And then the last one that we're going to do for this evening is the one with Sonny Rutherford, the late Sonny Rutherford, who had passed away.
Right, they don't
while
want us
at
to
a
know about
conference with the sheriff's department. It's a really sad, horrible situation. Let me go pull that up and give you the links. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate having all of you here. Let me see, where is it? Let me go pull it up over here. I know Matt Tibideo. I don't think I ever say this young man's name properly, but he had posted the whole thing as well. So I will play that one. The other one that I had saved is going to take too long to find, and definitely want to. All right, here we go. Let's see. So this was also put out, I guess, by At Night on social media. We had already heard, though, about the ground, the looking at the walls and everything like that. We had heard that, but then there's a lot more that was interesting that was in this. And it's just, all of us that are true crime enthusiasts, so to speak, or sleuthing, we like to hear things, right? We just like to hear them ourselves and hope that they're legit and they're not completely altered, right? Or fabricated, because there is technology now that can fabricate voice patterns and videos. And so that's why I say, like, nothing will ever surprise me, because you just never know, right? But this is the link if you want to hear that in full. And let me just switch over and pull it up. And I'll be back in a few minutes. I have to go check on the littles. There's no school today, so that's nice. Hopefully everybody decides to sleep in.
Camera that you can see all that, yeah.
But like I said,
So I can't change the audio. Maybe in the future, if I get my studio set up again like I used to have, I'll be able to help with the audio a little bit more. But the audio for Weatherford is just really low because of the, it's on the end of the recording. So I apologize for that. And you can email me, UA, or on X. It's 411ccn@gmail.com. Or, my number's out there. You could even text. I have no problem, having a discussion with you and stuff. Not at all. I think it's important to have different opinions. I just don't like to have, the pile on, that happens. And it doesn't feel good. I think we've all experienced it at one time or another. And I try just to have like honest conversations where people can talk about why they think the way they think. And that's just been something that I have not seen in Sebastian's case. unlike anything ever before, because even when I went back in Summer Wells a little bit, you could still find panels where there was a lot of people with all kinds of opinions for all different reasons. And they were still able to give each other, you talk for a few minutes and then I talk for a few minutes and just be respectful because, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's the state of the world sometimes, right? But anyway, yeah, I would have no problem, doing that. That would be great.
We drain ponds,
I knew you.
the house, and we've done.
Then Katie leaving the residence the morning that he disappeared to go look for him is crucial in this case. Where did she go? What did she do? And was Sebastian in her vehicle when she left?
We have done a 5-mile grid around the house, and we've done all that. And we actually have where every person took a footstep to know we covered every block.
Right, you did the grid
Right.
search. Okay.
And then what we had them download an app that actually showed us where they were
Star
stepping.
topo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we knew exactly where they went.
Okay.
And so we've done that, we did it for a whole week. And then we've gone back and we did it another 2 days, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so we drained ponds.
I knew you guys did that.
We had divers in ponds.
Yeah.
We've got, as far as I know, all the footage of every camera that's on either street. And
just nothing.
that's nothing. We see him go into the house, but we never see him come out of the house.
It's so strange.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. But, we have footage where they were in Hendersonville eating, and they left there and went to their house.
Right.
We saw them go in the house, and then 6:20 maybe, he comes out and takes the trash to the end of the road, the end of the driveway. And we see him go back in the house, turn on some lights in his bedroom. That's it.
That was from a neighboring camera, I'm assuming.
We,
It's from a neighboring camera that you
Yes,
can see
yeah.
all that, yeah.
But like I said, when she called us, we had people go to the house, search the house. We even got thermal imaging to check all the walls in the house. Just to make sure that he wasn't stuffed in a wall somewhere. Because we don't show him leaving the house, which is the strangest thing for me.
The footage of him taking out the trash, was it pretty dark by then? That was before the time
it was-
change?
it was
It was
dark,
before the
yeah.
time change, right?
And so the reason we went to the landfill in Kentucky was because the trash was collected that Monday morning,
Right,
right about dark.
right.
And so, I had, my opinion, one of the best teams. We had TBI, FBI,
Yeah.
Secret Service, we had TEMA, and then we had at least 200 volunteers that were in law enforcement or first responders on the ground every day. And I'm not telling you, I'm just trying
I know.
to give you information on
Some
what we have
perspective.
done.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
And so we've even called people with like cold cases and say, how did you find them? This is what we've done.
Mhm.
And every one of them tells us, you've done everything you can do except find them.
Right.
And I wish we'd get a tip today and,
Yeah.
and we could find it.
You said within a 5-mile radius.
Well, that's land search.
Yeah. Land search.
There's a creek, several hundred yards, Rex Creek.
Mhm.
We had TWRA walk both sides of the bank and then the creek itself all the way to Hendersonville. And then they did it out towards White House. And like I said, every pond that we have been able to find has been searched.
And I assume that you're aware that right there on her, where those woods connect, that is a sex offender with 4 aggravated sexual assault charges.
I didn't know it, but
Yeah.
I
So,
don't do our list either.
but
I got one this morning said that the stepfather drove up here and got him and took him back to the job site and buried him on the job site. I'm like,
You don't think
who
that?
you got first?
Yeah, I mean,
So
I did get a tip. I've been involved for probably a month now. I did get a tip a couple Mondays ago. A man drove up to me at the Rudder, and he said the morning of the 26th, around 5:30 in the morning, Kathy Bowersox was parked right beyond the Shell on New Hope. He said he had called it into Sumner County, but he hadn't heard anything back. And I believe Sebastian's dad called it in again. I'm sure footage has been pulled from the Shell right there. I don't know what other cameras would be right there. It looks like maybe there's like a storage unit kind of thing right beyond that Shell, Worsham's Market, And the only reason I really believe there was validity, number one, I didn't feel like the man was lying to me, but also it was anonymously posted from someone, I think it was someone else because they described it a little bit differently.
Talking about the mothers?
The Christopher's mother.
Okay.
Kathy Bowersox. Apparently has a decently recognizable SUV, probably because she's a real estate agent, that she was parked beyond Worsham's on the side of the road at 5:30 in the morning on February 26th. So about an hour before Sebastian was reported missing. I don't know. That's a little odd to me. And I just wanted to make sure y'all did have that tip.
I can tell you, I don't know all the.
Maybe, well, I guess maybe hopefully Carter has that tip.
I mean, I should say, everything goes to him.
Right.
Is he available?
He's not here today.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have an interview with him for a promotion.
Oh,
He got sent to another county on a case.
gotcha.
All right.
All I can do, because TBI,
Mm-hmm.
and so we really can't release more than what I've told you right now.
Yeah, and that's
You can't
okay.
release the missing persons report, like the initial report, not the police report, but just the,
Yeah, see, Craddock, I need to get that report for the Q Center. And Craddock called me and said, y'all can't release it. And I'm like,
Because it's an open case.
yeah, but I mean, the nonprofit organizations that do the searches, they get copies.
they
of
work
it.
open
Yeah,
cases.
Let me rewind that a little bit. So a lot of stuff you can't release because it completely destroys a case, right? We already know that. We already know that a lot of times things could really, really, really impact a case. So sometimes you can think of the fact that people don't want things out there if they don't want the case to be ruined, right? And that's what I thought, when I heard the traffic and certain things with Katie and Chris in the beginning of it. I was like, well, they're working with law enforcement. They don't want the case jeopardized. I thought there was a third party because they didn't show their faces. I thought I could see things very different at a certain point in time. And then, as we all know, we've watched it just pile on, and so many things that have, completely changed my opinion. My opinion doesn't matter at all, right? I'm just a person. And what matters is if there's ever a court and there's a jury, because everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Everybody. So it doesn't matter how much I may feel, or you may feel in chat, or we all may feel, at times that they have guilty knowledge. I just find it interesting, though, that it seems kind of reckless almost that the PIs, want to release certain things in a sense. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking bad about, I don't know Heather Cohen at all. I don't know these people. I don't really follow them. But I personally didn't like a lot of things that I've seen that they've done. Overall, if I needed a PI, I would never go to somebody on YouTube. Like, let's just be realistic. I'm going to go to somebody that nobody's ever heard of, that has no connections to social media people. And that's just my personal opinion. I wouldn't want anything to do with anything that can connect to reality TV and stuff if I needed a PI. That's just me, but I don't know.
Worsham's on the side of the road at 5:30 in the morning on February 26th. So about an hour before Sebastian was reported missing. I don't know. That's a little odd to me. And I just wanted to make sure y'all did have that tip.
I can tell you, I don't know all the.
Maybe, well, I guess maybe hopefully Carter has that tip.
I mean, I should say, everything goes to him.
Right.
Is he available?
He's not here today.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have an interview with him for a promotion.
Oh,
He got sent to another county on a case.
gotcha.
All right.
All I can do, because TBI,
Mm-hmm.
and so we really can't release more than what I've told you right now.
Yeah, and that's
You can't
okay.
release the missing persons report, like the initial report, not the police report, but just the,
Yeah, see, Craddock, I need to get that report for the Q Center. And Craddock called me and said, y'all can't release it. And I'm like,
Because it's an open case.
yeah, but I mean, the nonprofit organizations that do the searches, they get copies.
they
of
work
it.
open
Yeah,
cases.
that's
Yeah.
how they do it. And so,
Just
yeah, I'm
little
not really sure why
odd.
we can't get that for them.
When they told me you was here, I said, told me to go find him.
Yeah,
Because I knew he had talked with you,
right.
but he's at lunch,
Mm-hmm.
because he's doing interviews also.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And so I had the last interview for the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got through, they had left. I'm, okay. I said, how are y'all gonna do me? But anyway.
You know what I would enjoy listening to? If Chris McDonough had reviewed this, or if he reviews this, because he would be really knowledgeable, right, in regards to what's common practice, what should and shouldn't be released, and, you know, things like that. Like, could that jeopardize anything by being released? Because we even heard, don't forget, we did hear from the county commissioner. And whenever I do the next live, because I really do have to get off and try to get ready for the morning. The county commissioner had given a statement about certain things that were private, and they didn't want to put anything out there that would jeopardize Sebastian. And so it's just interesting to me. I'm like, because maybe certain things can be put out usually or something, but they don't want certain things out because you don't want certain things out. You know, we already knew too much of stuff, right? With the, you know, with his condition and, you know, what he was enduring, right? With incontinence and certain things that he was going through. So it could be something like that. But I wonder, like, if it's standard protocol and you see roadblocks, right? That could have added to why so many people have locally, like, because I have talked to a few people locally that think that there's a lot of corruption, and which, like, I think there's always a cog in the wheel somewhere at some point in time. I don't necessarily think it's a blanket, you know, statement, a broad, you know, you can paint with a broad brush. But I do think that if we heard somebody like Chris McDonough go over something like this, he has the professional, you know, real world experience. It would be really, like, it would be kind of educational, you know? It could help with things, like, especially with, like, speculation, but also to inform us.
They left you to deal with me on your
Yeah, to deal with this. Yeah.
TPI.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know. We
As
won't.
soon as he gets back, I'll talk with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so,
We're not asking for a file. We're not asking for even, you know, just the missing persons
Yeah.
report.
And I don't, you know, again, I don't need you to tell me what you're doing or what you know. I just want an open line of communication so that I can share with you what I'm finding out.
okay. So I would recommend that you either talk with Brandon Carter. And I hate to say it, but the longer this goes, the more I feel like it's not going to be good for the family. I hope he comes back safe.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Yeah.
But I don't,
I know.
it's not looking that way the more we go.
Yeah, I
The
know.
longer time spent.
Have you talked to the sex offenders and gotten alibis and all that?
I can't.
Yeah, you don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
No.
not trying to push you, but
I'm the sheriff, but I
Yeah.
I'll never,
No, I
I
understand.
don't know,
Yeah, I understand.
because
Yeah.
we have so many things going on.
Right.
But I can please tell the family.
yeah.
We're working on it every day.
Here in our midst, and we pray that everything that you would hear.
Let me see if I can get that link for you guys.
I've heard this audio yet, and these
So yeah, that was a lot to unpack. Definitely. I know it's not necessarily new information, right? It's stuff that we've heard at different points in time. And, you know, I often think that there was other third-party private investigators that were probably retained because there was just so much outpouring of support to find Sebastian by other people, especially people that are pretty wealthy, you know, and you had, you know, like Aiden from the Lure Lodge, you had different musicians, you had different, you know, celebrities even. So hopefully there was others, and I'm sure there is. You know we had plenty of sleuthers and creators, and you just won't necessarily know about it, I guess, right? So, because they shouldn't be biased. It should be completely about the missing person. And I can't really say, you know, if it is or it isn't, because I don't know these people's practices, right? I just know what we've seen online, and online it's not, you know, it doesn't look great, in my opinion, for anybody, really. You know, it's been like a mess, and Sebastian's always the last one to really be discussed, and it's really disheartening, especially when you think of what his mom said, like, what if, you know, can you search the dark web? I think somebody might have my son on Nancy Grace. things like that. And you think of the Ring Neighborhood app, and then you think of some of the peculiar things in that Texas Roadhouse, or you just never know, you just never know. And I don't know. I hope he is found and gets justice like we all do. That is for sure. That is for sure. Let me grab the link to the audios, because I keep saying I'm going to post it for you guys, and then I don't post it. And again, if anybody wants to contact me, my email is 411-CCAN. So it's 411-CCANNE @gmail.com. And this is the link. If I can get it to copy and paste. All right, so this is the one that we played at first. And then this is the one that we're ending with. And this is the one that you can hear, Katie discussing being very violent in the past. So I think that this is where a lot of the speculating came from. Remember, there was the speculation about the MMA fighting and things like that. I think that might be where it stemmed from, was possibly this.
Common sense should tell some of you.
Let's see. This is it. Let me see.
You done? Yes.
So
She opened her mouth, made the statement. She's the catalyst to the fucking storm that is now brewing. It doesn't take much. I can go out there, open my mouth, say one fucking word, and I could almost break the fucking internet. Look what I did the other night when I got on that show. When you said I wanted on the show, that shit fucking almost broke the fucking internet. No, that's the one time I went out there and stated the fucking facts.
Yeah.
I didn't go berserk. No, I'm fucking pissed. There's a difference in berserk and stupid, psychotic, and every other adjective you want to add into it. I did, and I had every fucking right to say what I said. Nothing I said was fucking false. Nothing.
I didn't say it was. I don't think anything you said was false.
I don't know.
When I told her exactly how many dogs, where they all went, what they've all done, she's like, there's nothing I can really do.
Let me see if I can find it in the transcript.
Other than to assist in a search if needed.
Yeah.
Bobby's with it and starts talking.
I promise you, if Bobby told Seth anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth, I promise you, it won't ever open again. And you can tell her you can tell her those are my fucking words, not yours, mine. Absolutely fucking zero to do with anything. Because there's no clues, there's nothing up to what y'all have released. Got a friend of mine who is highly respected. And all of a sudden, he made a good point. He didn't tell me that. And I was like, you know what? You're very valid on that. Very valid.
On what?
Information that's out there that actually has nothing to do with finding Sebastian.
But
I understand what purpose it serves to bring through when, let's just be honest, I was violent.
Well,
Violent. I don't understand why that needs to be.
Well,
yeah.
Basically, she was just saying that,
Get ready to go to work.
she gave him the phone, or she had taken pictures with her phone, and they're talking about the family stuff or something. I still don't know, I didn't dig into people's private lives like that to find any information in that extent, so it's whatever's sourced online. And so you can think really like assume it's something to do with the family, something violent happened, or I'm not quite sure what she means by it. But that was the thing that everybody kept texting to me, and, they were commenting, and then I banned the word, because, you don't want that kind of stuff to be all over the YouTube, especially because I don't know in what manner it was said. We can't hear it all. We're just hearing the background noise of some of the words that are coming through, and you can't hear the context of the conversation, right? So, I mean, I just didn't feel it was appropriate,
On what?
Information that's out there that actually has nothing to do with finding Sebastian.
But
understand what purpose it serves to bring through when, I mean, let's just be honest, I was violent. Violent. I don't understand why that needs to be.
Well,
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
I gotta get up and get ready to go to work. I don't have my GoFundMe page to pay my bills.
Let's jump straight into the sources today. This deep dive, it's really focused on Christopher Proudfoot, Sebastian Rogers' stepson.
So I think that I was just, remember, because they said she was like an MMA fighter and all these things around the same time when a lot of that stuff was being circulated. So now we have a little context to where that would have stemmed from, where all of that started to come from. In my opinion, I would assume it came from this, right? From this, because obviously they had this conversation, it was documented, and then other people listened to it. Because Heather, I think it was Smiley's Story World where she explained, it was one of these channels she had gone on and she talked about what she does with her, with her stuff and how she shares it with her team and she'll have them listen to it. I believe it was Smiley's Story World that she had gone on the panel to discuss it when there was the leaked, there was an issue with, I think it was Trevor Lee, and it was a whole thing. And that's where she discussed who the chain of command, kind of her normal, way of sharing information and stuff. So that's what I think. I think that this is where a lot of that stuff stemmed from because of this conversation and what Katie had said in the background. About violent and being very violent. So again, I guess I'll just go over, more the next time that we come on. But to kind of wrap up this show for tonight, I think, it's important to kind of discuss like the whole thing when it comes to YouTube, right? Because we all have been crossing, over it with each other's and crossing, how do you say it? Because we're not really running into each other or bumping into each other because we're on the internet, but we see one another in different chats, discussing things and everything. And we all have heard a lot of these rumors. We've all seen a lot of this stuff with different creators and with, what seems like bias or I don't even know the right word to say, but so to kind of go over why the rumors got a little bit darker in this case, I believe, the rumors on Reddit, on X, on Facebook, everywhere and anywhere, on and offline. I think that they got darker because of the rumors of abuse, Seth was pushing so hard, for the FBI involved, it was really early when he asked for the FBI to be involved, and we heard a lot about what happened to, Sebastian, and it was really deeply unsettling, right? it alluded to private chats that were leaked out, and one of the creators just the other day, had somebody on that I guess had allegedly gone in their troll account and asked a question about a rumor that she was told and somebody's speculation that they had. And they just posted it in chat, I guess, to get the conversation going again. And it was, on a live panel. And it's just a shame because, all of these creators, they've touched it all, painting a picture of, a really toxic environment to most people that are watching and listening. And it's all hearsay, but it does prey on people's worst fears for vulnerable kids like Sebastian, right? You think the worst when you hear these things because it does sound like abuse. And, with going on the channel like that and not hearing anything, like not one mention of Sebastian, it was accepting apologies, from different YouTubers and things that were spreading the rumors, but they were based on conversations. It's so unsettling because it said they were, they had hours and hours of these private conversations offline. And then they took those conversations and added, their own, I wonder if, and you always hear like, well, it's not supposed to go public, it was just to help behind the scenes, but things are going to go public and you're sitting on live streams without a problem talking about it. And it's just a shame. It's really sad. You hear about the private 8-hour marathon phone calls, and it's just really, it's hard to fathom why you wouldn't care more about the missing child than clearing up the rumor, so to speak, right? And there was very little of that said. There was very little. And then a lot of people talk about things that they feel like are kind of like veiled threats, things like you might get yourself hurt, or I hope you choke on a chicken bone, or I wouldn't urinate on you if you were on fire, and all of these different things. And I think it just shuts down the discussions really fast, right? A lot of people just don't want to discuss it. And I think that, nobody wants to have somebody, if they truly feel that way and are that angry, coming for them with a team of creators, like it's just common sense, right? And that's what it looks like. Everybody kind of thinks that why would you put these things out there when you know that it's just going to shut down the discussions as well, even if it isn't, making you feel good, right? You want to spread Sebastian's name everywhere. So it shouldn't matter what anybody says about you. And another thing that a lot of people were saying was that, it was such a awful thing to insinuate that could have happened. But nobody said then if it happened, then he would have been, the victim, right? It's like every time you really listen, Sebastian, who's missing, isn't the victim. That's just the way it doesn't come across like that. It doesn't to a lot of us. And it's a shame. It's heartbreaking. It really didn't seem like it was more than people just wanting, to demand apologies. And I don't know, I just can't imagine having conversations like that and not thinking that or expecting that it's definitely going to get leaked out to the public. Because it's happened time and time again, right? People have constantly let things kind of slip, and so it's like, why would you ever even fill them in, on anything if there was something that should never be said? So we don't know, are they wild statements? Are they inconsistencies? They've got the public convinced that, the Proudfoots do know what happened. And when Chris stated, that only 3 people know the truth, him, Chris, and Kate, him, Katie and Seth, that doesn't help, right? Because why say it if it's not accurate? And I don't know, it's just a shame because it really does seem like it really hurts this case. You know, it really does. It really doesn't come across like grieving parents, you know? And it makes you wonder, like, is it grieving parents? Is it something else? You know, sure, it's all speculation, you know, but this is what's out there. This is what people are really thinking. This is what it is. And there's nothing that we can do to change it, but to talk about it and try desperately to raise awareness that Sebastian's still missing. And there is a $50,000 reward. You know, there is. And, you know, it's heavy stuff. It's not, you know, it's not easy to talk about. It's really not. But if all of this discussions today, you know, if all the things that we've been talking about, if they hit too close to home for you, you know, we do have a lot of resources out there. You know, we're streaming live tonight, but even if you're listening on the replay, if you're listening on X or YouTube or TikTok, and there's going to be some podcasts, you know, coming soon where you can listen on the podcast sites. I just want to maybe try to add this in at the end of each show about the resources, because we have the National Center for the, you know, Unaliving Prevention Lifeline, and that's a free 24/7, you know, it's a 24/7 free service that you can text to 988. And the national hotline number is 1-800-799-7233. For human sailing, you know, human sails, because we can't say the word. If you have any tips or information on that, you can always call 1-888-373-7888. There's the Veterans Crisis Lines. I think that's 988, and then press 1. It's all confidential. It's all free. You know, there's just so many resources. And there's the crisis line. There's the text now. So if you need to talk to somebody, please do. You can do it anonymously in chat rooms, on your phone. You can call on the phone. But definitely, you know, reach out to somebody. We all have our trials and tribulations. None of us are perfect. You know, we all have heavy burdens to bear at times. And sometimes it's just helpful to get it out and to talk to somebody that doesn't know you, doesn't know the situation, you know, isn't going to judge you, you know. Sometimes it could be really helpful. So anyway, I thank you guys so much. This is our deep dive for tonight. I appreciate that you joined us. And, you know, Sebastian, he could still be out there. And if there was ever a 1 in a billion chance that Sebastian listened to this, and if you're out there, you know, we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop, Sebastian. You're not a monster. You're very loved and wanted, and, you know, nothing's your fault. You're just a kid. None of us, you know, sign up for the different unique abilities that we're given in life. Sometimes our challenges physically or even cognitively or mentally can be all over the board. Everybody has their things. And I hope that if there was ever a chance that he did listen, that he would know, you know, if you just, you know, reach out, go into LE. You know, you wouldn't have to hide. You wouldn't have to be on the run. Because I can't imagine, like, if he really ever stumbled, you know, can you imagine if he was alive and he's out there and he stumbled on what's discussed? Would you ever want to come back as a teenager? Or just anybody? Especially if you have so many different things that you're going through, you know? It's so hard as it is. But nonetheless, irregardless what it is, you know, where Sebastian is or what happened, you know, keep sharing his story. If you want, you can like or dislike this video. It does help, you know, in the algorithm a bit. If you can share it, please do so. Subscribe if you'd like. So yeah, I don't know, guys. For some reason, I can't see the chat now from X or from the YouTube. It's all laggy. But I do thank you for coming, and we will do another show sometime today or tomorrow. I'm trying to get back on a set schedule to be able to do it. I'm trying to play the outro, and the outro is not coming. It's not coming on. But I'm so tired right now. Like, does that happen to you? It's like it hits you like a ton of bricks sometimes. Let's see, where is the outro? No, I have my little outro, and now it's not. Let's see if I can get it to play over here. And if you have any suggestions, you know, let me know in the comments. I like to think of different perspectives, you know, and if I can change something or it's helpful. There we go. I think I got it. Yeah, normally I don't get tired that easy, you know, because I'm so used to sleep, you know, it's like 3 hours, 4 hours, then I have to get up with the baby or Haley. Then sleep another 2 hours, then I got to get up. But lately, I think it's my age. Plus, it's like, oh my gosh, she's 2.5 now. And I'm just tired, I think. It's starting to catch up. When I had my older son, I was only 20. You know, I was really young. And now I'm like, oh, it's not the same. It's just, you know, it's just not. But normally I'm like, you know, pretty good at that. And now it's like, I can't multitask. I'm trying. I'm trying to get this outro to play. I'm trying to get this to work. And it's just not working. Heaven forbid, can you imagine if I fell asleep on a stream with all the drama and stuff that's going on with that other creator and oh my goodness. I wouldn't care though, because if I fell asleep when I'm streaming, the whole world would know why with how hectic my schedule is with the kids. That would not be a shocker. Okay, I think I finally got it. Let's see. All right. Do this again. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you again. I appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think. Thank you, Jenny, so much for coming in. And for those of you that were new, it's nice to have you. I hope you come back again. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Cheryl. I'm so sorry to hear that. Thanks for hanging out with us, Mark. It was nice to have you. And Rosebud, it was nice to see you. Bed of Roses. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet. And Jenny Machete, it's always nice to see you. Yue, thank you so much for stopping by. Little Miss Sharon. And I can't see the other thing when we're streaming. I think it actually stopped. I think when I hit the end and switched over, now we're only on the YouTube. But take care, everyone. Remember to do the best you can with raising awareness. And if you see something, definitely say something, but maybe to law enforcement, right? Not on the internet first.
Just the same blind, she's squinting through the smoke. Good intentions, they broke. Yeah, they broke the spoke. saw the battlefield painted in red. No medals, no glory, just keep moving ahead. Evidence stacks like bricks in a wall. Intentions crumble when the truth makes the call. Justice happens eventually. You can't outrun eternity. Jesus whispers silently. Eventually. Eventually. She don't need a stage, don't need the crowd. Silent as a shadow, but her heart is loud. She's a fighter with a prayer, no weapon in hand. Guided by the light while she takes her stand. Truth cuts deep like a blade in the night. Good intentions fall in the face of the right. Of the right. Justice happens eventually. You can't outrun eternity. Jesus whispers silently. Eventually. Eventually. Truth cuts deep like a blade in the night. Good intentions fall in the face of the right. Justice happens eventually. You can't outrun eternity. Jesus whispers silently. Eventually. Eventually. Eventually.
Late at night, the world feels small. True crime whispers through the hall.